So real quickly, your two activities today are focusing on misplaced as well as dangling modifiers. So remember that a misplaced modifier is a modifier that's just in the wrong place. So you don't have to do anything other than just simply finding the modifier that's in the wrong place. It could be an adverb, it could be a prepositional phrase, and simply pick it up and move it because it should be closer to the word it's modifying. So if the error sentence read, Elizabeth practically finished the SAT in record timing, well, she didn't practically finish it. She did finish it, but she finished it practically in record timing. So you notice how I moved the word practically closer to the word it's actually trying to emphasize. It's not practically finished, but it's practically in record timing. So on this worksheet, just simply find the word or the phrase which is in the wrong place and just draw an arrow. Where should it go? On the second worksheet, as I change my screen, these are your dangling modifiers. We've done these before. Remember, a dangling modifier basically it's modifying a word that's not really in the sentence. So in this sense, it's kind of dangling. If we tried diagramming it, it wouldn't have a place to connect. And oftentimes, these will show up as both gerunds and infinitives. So remember, when we're working with a gerund and infinitive, the easiest solution is simply to give the gerund or the infinitive its own subject. And that's typically what I would suggest. So, for example, if my sentence read, to get into Princeton, the guidance counselor whited out Eli's transcripts and rewrote his grades, well, it sounds like the guidance counselor, which is your subject, is trying to get into Princeton. And I know the word Eli's is in the sentence. Remember, it's looking for a subject. And so that infinitive, to get into Princeton, has to create the subject. So you have two solutions. For an infinitive, you can either add a subject to the infinitive, which I think is the easiest solution. So I wrote, for Eli to get into Princeton. But if I didn't want to do that, I would just simply revise the sentence by making Eli the subject. To get into Princeton, Eli asked his guidance counselor to white out his transcripts and rewrite his grades. So this works really well for an infinitive as well as for a gerund. Make sure that if you have a gerund, whether it's at the beginning or the end of the sentence, that it still agrees with the subject. Otherwise, it too would be dangling. So as you take a look at the very bottom of this worksheet, once again, try to figure out if the infinitive is dangling, how you could fix it. Or if the gerund's dangling, how you could fix it as well. There's typically more than one solution. So when you look at the answer key, your answer might be different from mine, but it might still be right.